Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to COD Zombies HQ, your daily source for zombies news and updates. In this video, I'm going to be going over every single cipher found so far in the Call of Duty Black Ops 3 zombie map, Gorod Krovi. A huge shout out to Reddit user Calanine on the COD Zombies subreddit and everybody part of that subreddit that helped contribute to solving these ciphers and getting these messages posted. If you guys are interested, you can find a link to the actual subreddit post in the description of this video. These ciphers reveal a whole lot about the zombies storyline and I hope you enjoy. So let's kick things off with the first cipher. It says, finally, the lab is almost complete. Security measures have been put in place so that the chance of detection by Americans is very unlikely. We also have several agents embedded with the staff as insurance. We will keep the individuals in stasis on ice to speak and continue the specimen rotation once we finish drawing more power from the drill. Oh, I almost forgot, the sequencing for the current blood samples is as follows. SSMJABR. Moving on to the second cipher, and it says this. Reality or dream, it's becoming harder and harder to tell. He came to me again last night while I was on my nightly walk through the countryside. He told me about the location of a book called the Chronorium. Said that Richtofen needs to acquire it if we are ever going to set things right. The book contains the location of a device called the Summoning Key. I will contact Richtofen in the morning. Moving on to the third cipher, this one's written in Navajo. Chronorium Excerpt B. To allow for quick travel between dimensions, the Keepers created the transference device, which is powered by the ether the Keepers have placed structures throughout the realms. Keeping with more excerpts from the Chronorium in the fourth cipher, it says this. Once the Great War ended with the defeat of the Apothicons, the Keepers ascended to become the wards of all the universe. The surviving Apothicons were cast out, banished to the dark. After eons of exile in the dark ether, the Apothicons evolved into twisted creatures that now bear little resemblance to their Keeper brethren. The Apothicons' ceaseless desire to re-enter creation to consume and corrupt all the universes. It is the Keepers that guard against the perpetual attempts to re-enter creation, and guard against any beings that may have fallen under the influence of the Apothicons. Moving on to the fifth cipher, this one was actually written in the Zulu language. It says this. It was a strange plane with hard landing. In a way, we passed through time and space, flying over the areas that should not be there. There is no sign that there remains. I do not know where it landed. Honest. Moving on to the sixth cipher, this one was actually using the bios for the 4 characters tweeted out by Treyarch, and they got this message. I know at some point in the future I will be in the situation where I put the needs of man ahead of my own life. I will save the world. Moving on to the seventh cipher, it says this. Things to do. Duct tape, rope, eggs. Finish reading that book. Poultry, nails, saw, world domination, bleach, compressor, onions, boiling water. An interesting list nonetheless. Checking out the eighth cipher where it says, in the beginning there was only the Keeper, but then the corruption of the dark ether leached its way into the realm and twisted the minds of some of the Keepers. The Keepers turned to shadows of their former selves and eventually became the Apothicons. Checking out the ninth cipher, this one goes back to excerpts from the Chronorium where it says, the Summoning Key is one of the oldest artifacts in all creation. It was used by the first one to mix all the dimensions with life, giving each one its unique balance. Under certain circumstances, it has the ability to form bridges between dimensions, allowing the transfer of life forces back and forth. It resides in the 63rd dimensions of creation. The 10th cipher is also another excerpt from the Chronorium. It says, the life force from the dead world allows the bearer to flow with all creation. The 11th cipher is a very interesting one. It's generally become known as the Diary of Pablo, the 5th test subject. It says this, my name is Pablo, or at least I think it is or was, I don't know anymore. I've been locked away, held prisoner in this cell for many months by the German scientists. They keep experimenting on me, pumping me full of some blue liquid. I think it's responsible for the repeated visions I've been having, which I swear look and feel real. In this vision, my name is Pablo Marinus, and I am a knight coming back from the Crusades. I fight a great battle against a strange demon-like creatures who are trying to devour the earth. At one point, it appears like I am doomed, trapped in the tentacles of a great 3-headed beast, when suddenly 4 knights decimate it with magical elemental staves, saving me from certain death. There are otherworldly creatures that fight on our side against the demons. The creepy thing is that the sigils on their tunics resemble the ones I've noticed on stones here at the castle as I was brought to my cell. I hope that eventually I can find a way to escape this. And the 12th cipher is another very interesting one. This one comes from the king of the castle of Der Eisendrache. It says this: "While I consider myself to be a brave king in battle, I will tell you, my son, that those four were the bravest warriors I have ever seen. I had the privilege to fight alongside them in the great battle many years ago when we defeated the creatures from beyond and the Dead Eaters. They disappeared after we claimed victory, never to be heard from again. The last thing they told me was to build my castle here, in this very location, before they disappeared." Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's 2 more ciphers that need to be solved. They're on your screen now, but beyond that, that is all of the ciphers in the COD Black Ops 3 DLC3 Zombie map, Gorod Krovi. It reveals a whole lot about the story of zombies, from Pablo to the King of Der Eisendrache, to excerpts from the Chronorium and excerpts from Diary of Maxis. A whole lot of story info coming from this map. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do enjoy this video, be sure to give it a like rating and subscribe for more daily COD Zombies news updates. I'll see you tomorrow.